Well, good morning, good afternoon or good evening to you, my beautiful pen friends, and welcome to another video with your host Andrew. Now for today's video you are in for a treat. This pen has not yet been seen in a video on YouTube. It has been posted over Instagram, it has been posted on other social media networks, but as far as I can tell, this pen has never been reviewed in this material before, and possibly even with this nib combination. So it could be a first of two possible outcomes here today. So without further ado, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. Please sit back and enjoy the unboxing section of this video. Well, I hope you enjoyed that quite extravagant introduction and the unboxing. I'm trying to put a little bit more production value into this channel, and this was purely inspired by Fig Boot on pens. Now, there are obviously other channels like tech channels out there which put in high production value in terms of their video content, and I'd like to try and bring that into the pen world as well. Let's make pens sexy again, so to speak. But anyway, so on to the subject of today. Oh, actually, before I do that, if you are interested in checking Fig Boot on Pen's channel out, please do go and check it out. I'll give you a link in the description below, and certainly check out his Alfred Hitchcock ink review, which is quite fantastic. His voiceover is just, it's brilliant. It's just absolutely fantastic. Next to Penboy Roy, who puts in a lot of production value, and he has started posting again. Yes, both fantastic channels. So again, give you another link to his as well. But anyway, enough promotion. Let's get on with the actual pen. So we have got in the box. Actually, before we go on to in the box, we have got the standard outer sleeve. Then we have got the pen, which you've seen from the unboxing, and inside that we have got a few things. We have got the Momento Zero Grande, piston Grande I should say, instruction manual. So the instructions are at the back with a catalogue in the front, very beautiful. We've got a made in Italy with 14 karat gold nib imprinted on there, very nice, and I shall show you that nib shortly. We have got a faceted bottle, which is very Omas in style. Talking of that, there should be a faceted Leonardo pen coming out at some stage in the future, which will be very exciting. Then we've got the pen itself. Absolutely glorious. I mean, just look at that material. Isn't that just beautiful? Right, so what have we got from the top to bottom? Conical style top, Italian style roller clip, Speranza band, 2 rings. That was custom, as per my request. Then we got the barrel. No imprinting on there of any branding. Beautiful, love that. Then we've got the gold style Speranza separator band here, or ring, coming to a piston filler, which I will give you a close-up of right now. As you can see, it operates beautifully smoothly. Then it comes up to a slight conical shape again on the bottom of the finial. Okay, so let's move on. Underneath the hood, we have got gold threads, for the cap. They are metal. Some people don't like that, down to your personal preference. I personally do. And then we've got a nice section which tapers up a little bit. And then we've got the fine elastic nib with an ebonite feed. Okay, so how does this pen draw and write? Well, you'll see that in the section coming up next. So, without further ado, let's get on to the drawing section. And I'd like to introduce Adventure Denali by the name on her Instagram and YouTube channel. Her name is actually Alicia, and she is a good friend of mine. She has been a true inspiration in terms of us actually starting the channel and actually supporting it. And actually, she's not a good friend. She's a bad friend because she keeps on telling me to buy pens, which I can't afford. So, bad Alicia, bad Alicia. But no, she's a good Alicia because she's got a beautiful ferret and she's an amazing guitar and ukulele player. Anyway, without further ado, let's go on to the drawing section and I shall see you in a bit.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to do a quick writing sample with this pen. I did initially have a few problems with the ink keeping up, but since using some micro mesh on here, it's been writing flawlessly. I didn't have to do actually too much to it whatsoever. And I've also noticed that this pen certainly works much better with Leonardo Black as opposed to any other colours. So let's just get something written out. Apologies for the viewing angle. I hope you can see this okay. So, as you can see, as I am writing this out, this nib does have quite a lot of expression. I wouldn't call it necessarily a flex nib. I'd say it's a soft nib which offers you the ability to get some line variation. I do have a Santini Libra, which I would say has a slightly better nib in terms of giving that expression, going from extra fine to a good broad. So I will do a comparison video with those two pens later, but let's just get the rest of this written out. And the paper I'm using today is Tomoe River. So it's quite a nice paper. And, you know, you can get some nice bounce out of this nib. Would I buy this nib again? Probably not, but this isn't really anything to do with Leonardo. This is I believe a Bock nib. I could be incorrect, but I believe this is a Bock nib, or it could be a Yovo. I will need to clarify on that, but it's supposed to be a fine. In my view, it writes more like a medium. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Let's just get that written out. And oh gosh, apologies. This is what happens when you try to do it, an awkward viewing angle and talking at the same time. So quick brown fox jumps. Let's try and not make any more mistakes. I was actually having a discussion last night with a friend who's just recently also got this nib, and we both have relatively similar thoughts. This nib does feel like it's going to keep up in terms of its everyday use, more so maybe than the Santini. I do agree with that. It does feel a little bit more substantial, but that's because this is a 14 karat gold nib, whereas the Santini, I think it's an 18 karat gold. No, I know it's an 18 karat gold. So yeah, it's that's just a little point of interest. Okay, so the quick brown foot drops. Let's do some line variation next. So no pressure, a little bit of pressure, a bit more pressure, a lot more pressure. I'm not going to really go too much further than that. What I was finding initially with this nib was that on these sort of diagonal strokes it was skipping quite a lot, but as you can see now it's actually performing a lot better. So let's just do some swirls. As you can see, we can get some nice expressional lines out of this. And the railroading issues which I was initially having since doing this nib modification seems to have actually worked out any of those sort of little bugbears which I was having. I've also used some brass sheets in between the tines, and that seems to have helped as well. So yeah, all in all, I'm very happy. So the nib is an elastic nib. Let's get that written down because some people like to know what the nib is. There we go, an elastic nib, and the ink is Leonardo Black. we go. And as you can see, it bounces along very, very nicely, this nib. Yeah, that's really all there is to say about it, to be honest. I can do better writing when I've got this at my sort of own level, but just for the sake of you being able to see this, it was probably better having it straight on. But yeah, let's write out the full name so you can actually see my handwriting properly. So we got the I also find that because we're also in the midst of summer, I'm in the conservatory just for light purposes, but my hand is sticking to the paper a little bit, so it is smudging the paper just a little bit, well, creasing it, I should say. Still, not going to complain about the weather. It's far better than having the cold. So Leonardo Momento 0. Grande. Wunderbar, as the Germans say. So that is the nib in a nutshell. Yeah, you know, it's a good nib. My only feedback would be I would like the nib to be finer, maybe like an extra fine. I do tend to find, and I have done a comparison to medium Yovo nibs, and I'd say this gold nib, as beautiful as it is, that to me is more of a medium line. You can reverse write with this, and it goes to a completely different size, like an extra fine. So let's just do that reverse as well. It's actually, oh okay, there's a little bit of feedback, but it's pretty smooth. So if Bock or Yovo, or if someone can ground the nib to get from that point, like this, to that, I would be really, really happy. That, to me, makes me happy. And look, we've got a smiley face. So, I hope that is instructional, and let's get on with the rest of the review.
Okay, so I just thought I would give you a quick overview on the size comparisons for the pens. So from right to left, we have got the Santini Libra in amber, beautiful pen, and it's got a lovely flex nib on that. I'll show you those when I uncap those in a moment. Next to that, we've got the Leonardo Opportuna Italiana Momento Zero Grande piston in Acrco brown. Next, we've got the Leonardo Opportuna Italiana Messenger in caramel. Next to that, we have got the Lami Safari, which was custom painted by my fine self. Well, fine might be, obviously, a matter of opinion. But then next to that, we have got the Leonardo Opporuna Italiana Momento Zero in blue Hawaii. And then lastly, but not least, we have got the Lami 2000. Now, all these pens are absolutely stunning. And there's 3 gold nib pens there. We've got the Lami 2000, then we've got the Leonardo Opporuna Italiana Momento Zero Grande piston in Acrco brown, which has got an elastic fine nib, and then we've got the Santini Libra with a fine flex nib, which is an 18-karat gold nib, out of just for your personal interest. Okay, so we'll just uncap those, and then we'll have a quick look over those again. Okay, so with the pens uncapped, the Lami 2000 is the most slender out of the lot. That's not to say that it is a particularly small pen. It isn't. It's a really nice, manageable size, and for day-to-day writing, it's perfectly comfortable to use. If you are looking at getting a Momento Zero Grande, this is looking at the Grande version specifically. If your remit is just to buying the Grande model just because of the size, I wouldn't say it's really worth the extra £100 odd which you spend on the actual pen. It's only marginally bigger, as you can see, uncapped. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go out buying it just for that particular reason. The reasons why you might want to buy a Grande are twofold. There are more unique colours on the 2020 versions and on the 2019 versions as well. So that might be one particular reason why you want to go that way. And secondly, it does come with a piston filler rather than a captive converter, which was on the old model. So that is it really in a nutshell. If you've got any specific questions, please do ask in the comment section below, and I shall see you in the next section. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. It has been perhaps the most arduous video to produce so far, but it's been one which has maybe been the most rewarding. Putting in the extra effort to create the introduction and the unboxing has pushed my video skills really in this video, so I hope you guys have appreciated that. Likewise, you know, if it's something which you don't want to see in the future because you just want to get into the meat and bones of it, you know, please let me know. I won't be offended. Also, if there's any way that which I can actually improve the channel, please, again, just say. But just to sort of finalise on these this pen, I'm just going to hold it up in comparison to the Momento Zero, and it does. I know I've said it doesn't. It's not really that much bigger. It is when it's capped. Okay, it is when it's capped. But if I just take off these caps, and I will just put these side by side. There isn't a huge amount between them. It's a hair bigger, but is it really worth the extra £100 odd on a standard Grande model? I think that is obviously a subject for a different video. Obviously, you know, it comes down to personal taste at the end of the day. So, just to sum up, thank you for listening. Thank you to Alicia for the beautiful music. Thank you, Salvatore, for providing this beautiful writing experience. And thank you, Gabby, for modelling the pen and doing the acting for the introduction. So I shall see you guys in the next video. Wait, did you think that was it? Oh, well, actually, I've got one surprise left for you. So I reached out to Salvatore, and I just thought actually it'd be really interesting to show you guys the making process of a pen. So in this next little section, it's only going to be very brief. I thought I'd end this video off with some production shots of how Leonardo go about making their pens, just to really wrap off this very special video. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'll stop rabbiting on, and I shall see you in the next video.